First and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak, Wadash.
Double honors into the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, you guys may be saved, and hopefully through the grace of Yahweh Shema Shach you may be sealed. With that being said, we the brothers from GM in Chicago coming at you another lesson. I'm your brother, Michael Warrior.
I'm the brother, Dawaba.
And we're going to get into this lesson, man. And it's gonna be our people, man. They look at folly and they look up to these wicked people. You know, it's gonna be a response to this Facebook post. And you know, you can read what the comments, you can read what the post says, but if you look at the comments, it's all these people, you know, talking about just wickedness.
You know, it's just all about idolizing, man. See, our people idolize the wrong thing. Here it is, they don't sit up here and give no consideration to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, but here it is, you idolizing these women, these beasts, Sexy Red, Sukiyani, Beyonce, Oprah. All these women ain't worth shit. But people will sit up here and idolize them and think this is the way to go, and that's the problem with our people. You know, I had a scripture real quick.
Okay.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 6. It says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low places. And that's what our people, man. Folly. Fucking folly. Everything is a joke. Everything is a game. Everything is fun. Everything is a barbecue and a laugh. The times that we in, people sitting up here worried about, oh man, which one of these would you choose? Neither one of them hoes, man.
And
go ahead.
Look at the ones they chose. They chose a hoe. They chose hoes, baby mamas, and one that's a mo. Like they choose. Look at all the women. None of them would consider great or good women. And then also, you know, it says the wicked sit. The rich sit in low places. You know, being in the social media era, like these people are so close to these celebrities, they feel like not only that they can touch them, but they can live out vicariously through them. They over here because you not finna do any of that stuff. You ain't finna spend a week with them. So what's the point of the question? You commenting if it's all fantasy.
And that's the other thing. The rich sit in low places. When you sit up here and think about it, that's our people. You know, here it is. We fell out of our rulership, and now we under the foot. Now we got mugs over us. You know. Now we the ones that's in bondage. Now we the ones that's in slavery. Now we the ones that got people over us, man. You know, we were no kings back then.
It was kings.
You know, now we sitting up here under the feet because of our disobedience. But you know it's gonna quickly change around. But the folly that our people deal with, the bullshit that our people want to, it's just unbelievable. You know, and they look up to these women and always want to sit up here and be on these women and kiss their ass and always want to just put them on a pedestal. None of them women ain't worth shit. None of them ain't worth shit. None of them are truly elect ladies. They are garbage.
Yeah, these dudes talking about all them talking about Oprah. They said because Oprah gonna give you that money, gonna get you some deals. What the hell Oprah gonna? What is it? When has Oprah ever did anything for a man? Actually, at the end of the day,
you know,
she ain't never did nothing for no man.
Nothing. She a momo. As a matter of fact, well, before I get to that,
With Isaiah.
Yeah.
This Isaiah 3:12.
Go ahead, you got it.
It's like, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths.
And those children, you can put those children in two ways. Those children being because we got our people let our children do all sorts of shit, man. You know, these little young ass niggas and these young ass bitches do all sorts of shit. But the real children that's talking about is Esau Edom. Esau Edom is a big ass child, man. That's all this motherfucker is. The so-called white man is a child. You know, that's it. And as far as women ruled over, our people love to have it so, man. You know, the old ball and chain, when you sit up here and listen to old heads talk about their wives and all this other stuff, you know, happy wife, happy life. Man, that's what motherfuckers live by and go by. That's bullshit. You know, here it is. You got these boss babes, boss bitches that are over you in the job workplace. You know,
alpha widows.
You know, and guess what? What gets accomplished in this world? Nothing. Nothing gets accomplished in this world. You know, but they say those who rule over you because men follow these women and not understanding that's to your destruction. Women don't give a damn about the Lord. They don't give a fuck about the Lord. They don't care. Even even the ones that say they in the truth, man, they really don't care. They truly don't care. You know, they put on that front and that fake like they do, man, but they really don't care, man. You know, and the Lord said He the part of wisdom and stuff. If you look at, I think that's Job. You know, Job 39. You know, these women don't give a damn about the Lord, man. They don't care about anything. You know, all they care about is themselves. They put themselves above everything. You, their children, and the Lord. And His only begotten Son. They don't care about nothing. You know, and guess what? If you follow them, you're going to go down a bad path, man. They're going to destroy you. You know? That's why we tell our bros, man, hey, look, you know, even in the scriptures it says, hey, even if you have a wife, be as though you have none. You know, yeah, man, because you got to sit up here and understand. Our purpose is for the Lord, not for them. You know? It don't mean you don't love your family. It don't mean you don't love your children. It don't mean you don't love your wife. It don't mean you don't love your father and them. But our first purpose is the Lord. Point blank, period. And our people put everything else above the Lord. You got it.
You know, y'all people put women above over them, and the thing is, you know, it's in the scriptures. It's, you know, it talks about that. I'm trying to bring it out. This Jeremiah 31:22. How long will thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And you know, now these women thinking not only they the prize, but also they thinking they above you. When that never was the thing. How she gonna be above you? But she needs your covering. She needs your protection. You know, as much as money these women make, all these women, all the money that they make, they got everything they ever dreamed of, and it's the most depressed they ever been. Why you think that? Because they not in their natural state, and this is what our people look up to. They look up to these women. How you gonna look up to the weaker vessels? How you gonna look up to somebody who's supposed to be watching, who's supposed to be following after you? That's not how that works, man. And y'all over here, you know, obviously, you know, it's folly. We know it's folly because they just answering the question. And you know, but at the end of the day, this is what y'all look upon. This is what y'all look at. And the thing is, like we said earlier, you doing stuff, you picking these women. When these women wouldn't even pick you, wouldn't give a damn about you. And they all wicked. They chose all wicked women. They couldn't have chose. This is who our people look up to. We don't have no. You look at, you know, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, you Israelites, man. Y'all don't have no positive role models, man. We don't have none of that on this earth no more.
I had some real quick. This is Romans 1. You know, it's just a certain. I just want to read. I'm gonna start at 19. It says, because that which may be known of Yahweh is manifest in them, for Yahweh hath showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. And you don't have to sit. You see the world in the way it is, how it moves, the animals, the water, the sky. You see all these things. You know there has to be a living power, but a lot of our people don't sit up here and even pay attention to it. They don't care. They push it to the side like it ain't nothing. You know, mugs who say they're atheists and don't believe in the Lord. That's bullshit. Yeah. How is the world made? They talk about the Big Bang Theory and all this bullshit as science. Where you think it came from? You know, it says, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even the eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew Yahweh, they glorified him not as Yahweh, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imagination, and their foolish heart was darkened. See, that's the thing, you know. Here it is, our people don't sit up here and think about the Lord. They don't care about the Lord, man. They sit up here and believe and trust in everything else. You know, when you talk about science, when you look up the word science, it means to know. You know, but the science that you get now is so-called science, falsely called, is bullshit. You know, you getting a pseudoscience, some bullshit Esau Edom made up. Like they know how to measure the planet. They know the distance between the earth and the sun. These motherfuckers guess shit. They don't know nothing. But here it is, our people worship and follow the wrong shit. It says, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like a corruptible man, into birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. And this is what I really want to get on. Our people idolize everything except the Lord.
Yeah.
They will idolize a goddamn gym shoe.
What they say Israel do not consider.
Yeah. You know, they will idolize everything except the Lord. They put these women on pedestal. They idolize these women, sexy red, nasty ass. Sukiyani and all these broads, you know, they've been fucking and sucking every goddamn thing. And that just shows you the rich sit in low places. Because our people think like a peasant instead of with a king mentality. Goddamn peasant thoughts.
Yeah, they
you know,
they don't even consider the ways of the Lord, and they don't have a ruling mentality. They don't have that at all. You know, they think they do, but in reality they don't. And what's how we know that, man? Just look, like you said, look at the people that they look up to. But you know, they had that public interview. They asked, you know, you ask any Israelite, you ask any 2/3 nigga, if you can meet anybody on the earth or anybody that's dead, who would you meet? They obviously a lot of them gonna say, oh, Michael Jackson. They gonna say some celebrity, but none of them gonna say the Lord. None of them will say the Lord. So that shows you that they don't even consider the Lord. Because if any person that's a believer of the Most High, even if you a Christian, anything, and you believe there's a higher power, you want to meet the person who created this earth, who is a higher power. But y'all would rather meet you'd rather meet a celebrity. You'd rather meet the sexy red Oprah. You'd rather meet a hoe. She did the same shit you do. She just got put on the pedestal. She fucking and sucking, doing the same thing you hoes is doing. It's just she got brought up by Esau Edom.
I got one of the scriptures. This is Jeremiah 4:22. It says, "For my people is foolish; they have not known me. They are sottish children." When you look up the word sottish, it means stupid, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Our people are foolish. That's exactly the whole point about everything. Our people are foolish. They don't know the Lord. They idolize and worship everything else. They put everything before the Lord, and they're going to be destroyed, man. They're going to be destroyed. You know, here it is. Who cares which one of these women you would choose? You shouldn't choose neither one of them. All of them got men. Well, maybe not Oprah. You know?
That's it.
But all the rest of them, sucking the fucking, you worry about.
Been many. They've been with, especially, they've been with many.
Be with some nasty ass broad that been sitting up here slobbed on, slimed and shot up all up in. You niggas are stupid.
They been with 50 Cent. They been with many men.
Yeah, they been with many men. You
many
right.
men.
You know,
many.
Sexy red nasty ass. Y'all need to quit, man. Y'all really need to quit. Y'all need to come out of that mind frame y'all in. The Lord about to destroy a lot of you niggas, man. And good riddance, man, because we tired of y'all anyway.
Hope you know you're going to die with these goofy.
Yeah, you're going to die with them. You're going to die with your sexy reds and your Beyoncés and your Oprahs. Because they not going to make it. They got their constellation on this side. They got their prize. They got what they want on this side. They'll be right in the kingdom. They'll have the right mind frame. But over here, they're about to get the judgment of the heathens.
And
good riddance to them. You got anything else?
That's all. Hey, with that, we hope this was edifying. We want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh,
by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors into the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. You guys may be saved, and hopefully to the grace of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh you may be sealed. With that, we like to say, stay prayed up, brothers and sisters. We almost up out of here. Shalom and a Bible ball.
A Bible ball.
Shalom.